Welcome everyone. Today I have a very exciting new steel build for the launch of the Bazaar. So over here we have the aerial turret. I really wanted to turn this into the centerpiece of the character, and I was able to make it work with an amazing comeback and with the final 1 prestige to face the final win of my 10th win. So before I say anything, let's have a look at what is happening with a fight with a final boss. And this wasn't easy, guys. This was a very hard hitting girl against Vanessa. She hits really hard. She killed me, but I revived. There's so many little hidden mechanics and gimmicks for this particular build. I'm really excited to share with you guys. So let me briefly run you guys down what is happening. There's some big brain behind this. I just got really happy to make this work. So the arrow turret is enchanted with obsidian, so it does double damage. And you can see this item, when it attacks, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. All the way down to 1 second cooldown for this item. And while flying, this will have multicast, so this will shoot twice. So in order to make this fly, we have this little orthocopter, which provides my turned flying ability, and this has a 1.4 second cooldown. I'll explain to you guys how we got that cooldown so low. So effectively, within 1 to 2 seconds of the fight, the arrow turn will go to 1 second cooldown. And this is also enchanted with critical chance, 15% for the arrow turret. Now the arrow turret has minus 44% critical chance. This is because we have the building crescendo, and this is not really a recommended ability unless you're really spamming like me over here with arrow turret. I'll show you guys the critical chance. So before this crescendo, I was around 46% critical chance, and with this I actually minus 44% critical chance, around that, maybe 50% critical chance back then. So the arrow turret will reduce its cooldown to 1 second within the start of 2 seconds into the fight. After that, the arrow turret will start to charge this revolver gun, and the revolver gun will be charged by 3 seconds each time arrow turret attacks, which is every 0.3 times of a second. So 3 times a second. I'll explain to you guys why. So every time the revolver gun gets charged, it will then charge this cooled tool, which will charge my attack item, which is the tech item over here. So the tech item that we only have 1 tech item, I believe. So this is why it's 1.3 second cooldown, because this had an earlier cooldown, but with all the cooldown reduction, it got lower to 1.3 second. So it's pretty much 1 second. So every time this gets charged and cast within 1.3 second, this also lowers this cooldown. So this will give 1 second to the arrow turn, which then counts back into a feedback loop. So this is a mini feedback loop. Once the arrow turn becomes flying, this mini feedback loop starts within 2 seconds. So this is my first infinite feedback loop. So arrow turn 1 second cooldown, and then charges rev gun, and then charges the cool tools, and then charges arrow turn. And the 1 second is infinite spamming. So what is happening on this side? So the little orthocopter over here also makes this item flying. The hydraulic squeezer is something that will also charge flying items by 1 second. And then when I use another tool, this will get charged by 1 second. That is also not bad. So initially I was thinking I can put that orthocopter on the left of this item to reduce its cooldown to 1.6 seconds, but the 15% critical chance and also the lower cooldown for my main damage weapon was more prioritized over here. So I actually thought about switching them apart, the two of them. So those two are the items I want to make flying. So once this item becomes flying, it will be able to charge itself. And seeing how low its cooldowns, and I have so many tools that is available, all my other items are pretty much tools. So 1 tool here, and we have 1 tool here, 1 tool here. Those tools would lower this item's cooldown. And the feedback loop on the right hand side is that this item will lower the cooldown of itself by 1 second and lower the arrow turn cooldown by 1 second, and then infinitely charging those, like the whole cycle. So this is built onto the cycle. To hyper boost the cycle a little bit, I have an increased animation of Nick Cola, and this cola will charge my squeezer over here and also the jetpack. The jetpack itself will loop back on the Nick Cola, which is not the biggest deal, but I just want to get the first few seconds of infinite loop going. So the jetpack will give the Cola haste, which Cola will be even faster with 2.6 seconds. And then the jetpack won't be charging this because the jetpack doesn't have flying. But the final item is this precision caliber. It is a tool with 2.6 second cooldown with a 2 second charging for all the other items. And that's all the small items over here. That is getting a 2 second haste. So pretty much indefinite haste almost. So what are the essential skills that I have selected? This is one of the biggest one. So this legendary skill coming from Stelle herself, it is the full arsenal. This one lowers the cooldowns of multiple items if you have a vehicle, a weapon, and also a tool. It's very easy to get tools over here. The weapon is of course the Turret, and the vehicle is actually the deadly Thorocopter, and that is pretty much it. So this particular little thing is also a vehicle. So I have achieved all three of the 10% cooldown reduction, obtaining about 30% cooldown reduction, I believe, which is pretty hefty. And this is pretty massive, right? So this by itself is a huge reduction to cooldown. So this is why you see item with about 3, 4, 5 second cooldown is lower to like 3, 1 or 1.4 second cooldown. And we have the infinite looping because my mini turret is hitting 3, 4, 5 times a second. This initial negative critical rate quickly goes into 200, 300% critical rate, as I'll show you guys in a replay again. Now, one of the biggest saving grace for the late game is that you can see even though I was killed once by the opponent, this particular legendary, I guess diamond skill from Stelle again is eject. Eject, this will allow me to destroy one of my vehicle, which is actually here, over here, and I do have a vehicle over here with jetpack, so I actually have 2 vehicles. So the first time I would die, this actually prevents me from getting one-shotted with one of the OTK builds or just dying, and then revive me with half of my life, and then a fighting chance, because I don't have any sustain. And those are pretty good, right? But imagine combining eject over here with another ability. So the void render, I couldn't get this one to diamond, but this is a gold skill. Again, I do believe this is from Stelle as well. So when you destroy an item in combat, during combat, your weapon gains 100 damage and your burn item gets 10 burn for the fight. So this 100 damage is really massive for my arrow turret, which is hitting 4 or 5 times a second with 100% critical chance. So not only do I have a second life, this also provides me with a 100 damage boost, which you'll see in this fight. Together with my only weapon, which is gaining additional bonus damage, and there's a bonus damage, and some bonus loot, some bonus critical chance, and if we have a vehicle, your non-vehicle items cooldowns are lower by another 5%. And this defensive grip was just random roll, which it's not bad because we get the maximum life bonus. So let me show you guys this in action now that I explained the whole loop. And you got to see how fast this wraps. So this is minus 44% critical chance. So within 3 seconds into the fight, before his skills are even cast, I'm down to almost 100% critical chance. And I'm just spamming that, hitting. The biggest drawback over here is the potential for enemy players to one-shot me. And that's what happened. His shuriken almost one-shotted me, but luckily with the second life with eject, I was able to do ridiculous amount of damage. And there's other cases against other players that this actually doesn't have to come into play, but it's day 14 and it's really difficult at that stage of the fight. Just to show you guys how cool these critical chances are and the infinite hitting. I don't know how many times this thing hit it. So look at the critical chance. So if you look at the critical chance, every second it's increasing by like 20 or 30. And by the end of the fight, I believe we're sitting on about 166 from minus 44. So we did about 6, how many is that? So I definitely did close to 30 to 40 hits within the first 10 seconds of the fight. So about 4 attacks or 5 attacks per second using this arrow turret. Now, just to show you guys over here, I do have some videos. Yes, I did record this, and let me try to show you guys some of the earlier fights so you get to see this particular build in action. So, you know, just getting the build up to speed and also getting things ready. Where are we? So very excited for this infinite looping. I'll explain to you guys the whole process of making the build work. I did try many different item combinations in the early game, which I'll go through to the thought work process with you guys. And just to show you guys some of the fights against other players in the early days. And this is after getting my, I guess, obsidian enchantment on my weapon right before I got my last chance, right? Look at this speed. So most players don't even get to see their weapon in action sometimes. So here, I think this player got to see his weapon work once. And by the second time, it actually worked the second time too. So we're super fast, super speedy, aggressive build. Against most enemies, it is super convenient. Let me try to show you guys one more fight over here. Yeah, it's just wonderful how much damage and also offensive capacities I can do on this particular build. The video actually broke down into 3 parts simply because I had to stop recording for a moment and take a break and have some food. So let's go over to the second last fight, which I also had a quick look. So here we're facing a Mark, and you can see the turret looping. This Mark hits very hard, and without my survivability skill, I would have been one-shot over here with his massive lifestealer mace. He was lifestealing like thousands. I'll show you guys over here. Yeah, I'm quitting for 500, every quick pop and 800, 800, and notice the final boost of damage. It was after he killed me once, I destroyed one of my items, and then I kept going. So, one of the biggest, I guess, end game protector for me is Eject plus Void Render, which made this build work with Obsidian. Now, in early games, you probably don't need all these combos, but this was one of the best combos I've had trying out something with a comeback using a basic arrow turret, which is a very early game item. So let's go through how I started this particular run. So coming over to a replay, and I do apologize for skipping a little bit on the replay. The first part got corrupted. So we started with Banana Boat as the first neutral I combated, and you can see here I did find the aerial torrent together with the Kara ship, the one that makes it fly. So this is the starting combo you will ideally want to start for your torrent build, because this makes your torrent fly, this also gives your torrent bonus damage. And we'll be looking for additional loot item that can buff our turret for damage and also critical chance. During this time, I strongly recommend getting the loot supply loot catch, because the loot items will help you a lot of the times with bonus damage again and also critical chance. And in terms of economizing, I do go for the small monster, and getting additional loot items, as I said earlier, can be beneficial. There are some hit and misses, sometimes you get a burn healing ones which are not great, but the damage bonus is a massive factor because our turn doesn't have much damage. Now, if possible, I like to go with Banana Boat for simply having the ability to have a much lower cooldown with duct tape for additional shield on the early fights. Now, there isn't too fancy of a strategy in the early game because your arrow turn is actually quite strong. This is actually one of the strongest items in the early game because of the sheer amount of cooldown reduction. But sometimes you do face a very strong player. So let's see how we go over here. So here's a poison and also healing combo, which is not great because we can't deal with poison. But our damage, let's hope it's enough. So the cooldown reduction for the arrow turret once it has multicast is very sizable. So this is why in the early game, this is one of the most broken items, as you can see over here. And this also gives us tons of shield coming from duct tape, just with a 1 second cooldown. So as we keep going, you can see the arrow turret currently is a silver tier. Not a major factor to upgrade this one, but the bonus damage does help. So going through some of the weapons, what are the ideal weapons I'm looking for? Of course, is going to be upgrade for the arrow turret. There's also other flying devices that can buff us a little bit. So here, getting some minimal upgrade for temporary use is okay. I don't recommend getting the little Kara, like the little flying boat thing over silver, because it's just too much investment. Let's skip a little bit over here. I did buy some random items, which I do have to say not the best idea. And here, after going for the loot items, unfortunately we didn't get any damage buffing loot items, which is a little unfortunate. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, but you can still sell those items for gold. So in terms of the neutral monsters, I went for the rogue scrapper simply because there is a small potential of getting more damage buff items. And let's see how it went over here. So the arrow turret will help you sail through the mid-game. And unfortunately, I got the healing item again. Now, I am ideally looking for both to economize my whole setup, which means more gold, and also looking for skills that provides me with more damage from the left and also right weapon. Because eventually, you only have one weapon. And here we go. We found a loot item that sharpens our arrow turret, and my goal is to really hyper boost arrow turret whenever I can. And to do that, the little snake lady gives us about 10% free critical chance, especially in the early game when you have the additional spots. It is quite nice. So we're gonna adjust a little bit. You can see me rearranging. I actually want to win the fight, so I actually didn't add on the critical chance. So if you really want to win the fight, the little snake ammo permanent charge for critical chance is good, but ideally I just want a bit of damage so I can start winning the early fights. The arrow turn is actually the strongest in the early game, so once you get to the mid game, it does fall off in damage unless you find the crucial cooldown reduction items. So there you go, you saw I actually won pretty convincingly in the early game. So we're gonna look for so over here I do want to recommend coming over to this NPC which sells non-weapon items is actually really good for some crucial items that makes our build work, including flying items and also speed haste items. Of course, you can see here I'm just buying a few items and testing things out, and orbital polisher is okay for a build, but we're not really flying that much to even get it working most of the time. So be aware of some of the traps over here. And of course, we're gonna get the sharpening too. I hope I get a sharpening too. Did I get a sharpening too? Oh, actually, I might be greedy for the double critical chance. Yes. So what happened over here is, what I did over here is I'm gonna remove some items and we're gonna upgrade the sharpening syrup over here. So the super syrup now give us 2% critical chance per charge. So that's 20% more critical chance. And that's really good. Good enough for me to actually have it on the fight to buff my arrow turret for 20% critical chance. It does take 3 fights or 4 fights at least for this to charge, but can't say no to 20% free critical chance, right? But this would mean that I'll lose a few of the PvP fight, and I will be trying to fight the weakest neutral monsters just so I can win. Now, there's a bonus if you can get the expedition ticket. If not, well, you know, it's not a big deal. And I'm sure we can win against this neutral. Let's see what items we got. Now, I do have a small video over here, a small demonstration of another game, which I will show you guys very soon. This is a similar build, but didn't get the right items, but it has some really good insights to what are the skills and items you can scale with this build, which will be useful for you guys to understand. Now again, I'm looking for some skills that can buff us up or give us more durability. The 10% bonus shield is not bad as well. We'll get to upgrade some items, and of course I got greedy with Orbital Punisher, which doesn't really help us that much. So ideally, I'm looking for medium items and I'm looking for small items and also tools. Those are the biggest factors. Because small, medium, tools are the crucial part of my gameplay. And getting some additional food if you have the spare gold, but additional life isn't the biggest factor, so keep in mind, sometimes it might not be worth it in getting the food, which I did bought. Now, a lot of random loot items which I want to sell for additional gold, and now you might see the arrow turn build start to fall off a little bit. Around day 3, this is when people start to get a solid build, and you might see me lose over here. Let's have a look. So I'm also greedy for the buffs, because I thought I'm probably gonna lose, so might as well buff my arrow turn for some bonus critical chance. But you can see, without a speed boost, arrow turn is a little slow. The slowness is the biggest drawback which you want to solve later stage of the game. But once it gets wrapping, it's actually pretty sizable. So even with a loss of slot over here, I still made it work. And that's without any speed buffs. So, no weapons, always recommended because it can give you some really good items. But keep in mind, if you don't have economy, you might want to just get some free items. So I'm looking for anything that can boost my team. And this hydraulic squeezer is actually amazingly powerful if you can make things fly and then use a lot of tools, which is going to be the concept of this battle, or this build. So we're going to get the squeezer, we're going to get it buffed up, and we're still going to be greedy for the critical chance. So at the moment, the build is a little weaker. Getting some bonus income can go a long way. So before day 6, I always look for bonus income if I can. After day 6, it's less rewarding for the income because you don't get that many days. Fighting some neutral monsters, getting some loot, and you can see we expanded the critical chance. So now we have 20% bonus critical chance. Nothing too special, getting all the wrong items. And juggling a little bit over here. I'm really looking for tools over here because the tools will help the hydraulic pump to be even stronger. And not the best adjustment. I should put the hydraulic pump next to the flying machine so it makes it fly and it reduces home cooldowns, but at the moment it's not the biggest factor. Getting higher weapon critical chance and weapon critical damage is essential, because any bit of damage scales a long way. So, more tools, always good. Not sure if I bought this though. I think I arranged it, eventually I bought it. So, getting a bit more tools. Now, around this time, again, I mentioned the enemy players will be a little stronger, and I don't have any hyper boost items, so yes, likely you'll start to see our early game setup start to fall off a little bit. Don't be too concerned, because you still have plenty of chance in finding your speed boost items. That's coming from the small items and also tools over here. I can't break his shield. It's just too much shield. So at the moment, we don't have the speed. Nothing too special. If you don't have the economy, getting a free item is always recommended. But if you have economy and you can sell items, you know, we can go into the... I went to the frog guy because I have mini items, and this allows my mini items to be sold for additional gold, of course. So here I sold my mini items and get the gold back. Nothing too special, gonna rearrange a little bit. Here I do have to mention the mistake is I should have made the hydraulic pump fly, but at the moment I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about getting more tools. So again, small mistake, making the both flying item is going to be the arrow turn, and also the hydraulic pump is essential, because the pump itself can recycle and give itself speed boost, which is going to be very crucial in any stage of the game. This hat is funny. You can go for the hat, save some gold on rerolls, but you really have to have enough appraisals and also items to make it work. And we're not getting the Orbital Punisher to the final level, of course. So I went to the neutral monster, and this one, the rocket guy, does have chances of giving us additional ammunition item, additional ammunition skills, and also additional critical chance item, together with cooldown items. So I like this neutral monster a lot. And let's have a look. Yeah, it should be pretty easy fight. So we got a cooldown reduction item. This is not bad because we do have an item that will be providing haste to all the small items. So getting these rocket boots is decent, very decent actually. So we're gonna rearrange, not getting the right rearrangement. And here I did take this item to gold, which if you're short on economy, I don't recommending it, because all it does is it just gives you 10 bonus damage. It's a 10 flat damage bonus. It's very minimal for the 8 gold you spend, so it's optional, guys, to actually not go to gold with the Kara, because this will be replaced very soon. Nothing too special. And yes, going for flying NPCs is actually one of the biggest factor. The domes will give us 10 plus damage, but the flying NPC can give you the crucial items you needed. It's a little hard choice over here, but I went for the flying items. And not great luck over here. This is not too bad. I was like, you know, I have a puzzle item, this helps with the rerolls. So nothing too special. Pepper plane, we don't need that. So I'm gonna rearrange a little bit. So I mentioned earlier, our build is not set up. I'm really looking for this item the enemy has. And once this item gets going, I save a tons of space, and then I will also be able to make my items fly. So this is the, not this one actually, it's the this item, this item over here. I forgot the name. I think it's this one, right? Actually, no, it's not this one. It doesn't have it. It's the little item that makes your item fly and reduce the fly item cooldown on the left by 1 second. Very, very powerful. Thankfully enough, my not so optimized setup at the moment is still making it work, which I'm very happy about. So again, going for more median items, and median item NPC is something I needed for multiple of my items, the pump and also for the turret. And as we mentioned earlier, we'll keep looking. So here's funny, the battle drum is actually stronger than my turret at the moment, but I want to go for the turret build, right? So that's why I didn't buy the battle drum. Looking around, nothing great. Oh, this is interesting. The toolbox will give you a small tool every day, and this combined with one of the ring traits upgrading your tools can make some really powerful combos. So I like the toolbox a lot. And this is just a value item. I went for this NPC just because it gives a little more gold, and nothing too special. So, Lightning Butterfly, very decent item in the early game for a build because the 10 bonus damage goes a long way. because it keeps giving us the 10 bonus damage. And of course, I'm shopping for weapons, so I can actually find my upgrades. Finally found it. Not the biggest damage upgrade, to be honest. Now, this hammer over here, I like those hammers a lot because this gives you variety to upgrade your tools and also items, even weapons, if you get the right ones. So I always buy the hammers and then try to buy 8 cheap tools. Skill upgrades, let's have a look at what we got. So keep in mind, the weapon will be on the left and also on the right if you get it working, so you don't have to worry about the position of the weapon in the future. But at the moment, it still matters. So 15 damage is actually sizable for now. Digging for new items, always recommended. You can dig into some really good items. And unfortunately, those are not great. Oh, you know what? We have the free reroll, we could go for that. And this is actually pretty cool. So I was able to find the cooled tool from digging items. I'm not sure this is actually something that can be found with our class or the character with steel. But finding the cooled tool over here is very powerful because when you only have 1 tech items, which I do only have 1 tech item, and then this reduces cooldowns by 3 seconds, and then this also charges the tech item cooldown by 1 second. Just happened, the arrow turn is a tech item, and this is the only tech item. So the cooled tool is actually amazing find coming from the digger over here, the NPC that gives you free items. So after double checking all my items, I was like, this is actually crazy. So let's get this item going. So it starts with 7 seconds, but because I only have 1 tech item, it goes to 4 seconds once it's on the board, and yeah, it's very nice. Still keeping some bonus crits, 4-second cooldown, and yeah, it's also a 2. So it's very good for my entire build because it's also a 2. Let's have a look at the fights. Now, I have to say, some crucial items are still not being found. So the crucial item is over here, the autographer, the thing that makes the other item fly. This is the thing I wanted, which is amazingly good. So right now, I don't see the hyper boost speed sync, because we don't have any speedy item that buff my turret. The turret just goes into flying mode with some critical chance, and it's definitely not enough. And we got more hammer, always nice to get more hammer. I went for the non-weapon, I think this is the weapon shop right here. This is the weapon shop. Both weapon shop and non-weapon shop are great. So additional experience, of course, goes a long way. I'd love to hunt for the treasure turtle because there's a lot more economy you can get. So look at all the good loots. Let's see what we got though. So over here, I didn't get the best item. I do move this over a bit so it doesn't kick me out of the 30-second cooldown. So in terms of the skill choices, let's have a look coming back to the actual replay. In terms of skill choices, I like to go crit and then weapon and then diamond tier. So weapon crit is always nice. We're not going to freeze, unfortunately. So there are multiple ways of scaling. So let me go back over here. So we don't have the easiest way to freeze enemies unless you get a freeze enchantment. But if you can freeze enemies consistently, you'll be getting 10 damage returned every time you freeze. So this is why I actually wanted to come to here. One of the biggest scaling factor why I kept this run, even though it's a 6-win, is that it has the scaling factor of when you poison enemies, you get 2% critical chance, and this stacks indefinitely. I have an item that's enhanced with poison. Unfortunately, it's only silver, so if this was much higher, I would have won very easily if this was gold or diamond. To follow from that, I have the cosmetic wind. This is coming from one of the neutral bird monsters, and usually the bronze bird monster. This, once you haste, your weapons will give you damage. Once you haste, the weapons gains damage. So this 360 damage was dropping to 600 because I have multiple haste items. So that's some really interesting scaling factor, but I don't think the freeze would do much. So again, weapon critical chance, and over here, more critical chance. Can't say no, right? Now, wheat bearing. I got another range. The reverb gun. I like the reverb gun because at the highest grade, it charges the item to the left by 1 second, and the item on the right will charge this for 3 seconds. It starts an infinite loop, and it's one of the crucial items we go for once we have the diamond tier. I'm gonna sort out my inventory a little bit, selling the items, and also buying some additional items. So Upgrading a silver item, what is the priority? I do think, I was trying to get this in, it's not going to work, right? So, the cool 2 is not bad, because it reduces the cooldowns to 3 seconds. The hydraulic pump is the same, it reduces the cooldowns by 1 second. So those two are probably the best choices. And I think I went with the cool 2, just so that it directly charges my turret. And it's got much lower cooldown. So I start to have a little bit more speed sinking, but that's not enough. So yes, the build is a very strong early game build, weaker mid game, and then stronger late game build. So let's have a look over here. So after getting the increasing of speed, it's a little better, right? Yep, the speed is a little faster, and we start to win fights again. Of course, we're gonna do some inventory management, and coming over to this NPC, what did he have? So I don't need large items, I need small items. Oh, there you go, Ravigon, perfect. I think, my other Ravigon, did I sell it? I think I actually sold it. So yes, Ravigon is good, but I think I bought it, yeah, I bought it again. Very misplay over here. So Ravigon, initially I didn't feel like it was that powerful during this run, but later on I realized it is very powerful. So upgrading skills, mini items, probably go with, let's see, we don't have much gold though. So do keep in mind, you have to pay for the skill upgrades. So, you know what, paying the additional loot isn't okay. Nothing too special over here, we're gonna clear out the inventory, fight the car conductor. Let's see what special item he's got. So the car conductor, anything with vehicles and anything with ship NPCs will tend to give you good, like, vehicle items. And this is not bad. When you have a vehicle, you know vehicle items cooldowns are reduced by 5%. We want as much cooldown reduction as we can. And a lot of those can be coming from the neutral NPCs or your skills. Let's get the things going a little bit. Oh yes, finally upgrading the pump to golden tier as well. I am going to the neutral NPC because I like to find the little egg that gives me a bit of economy. This egg is amazing for economy. Every day you get 4 value, and I like to find any item that provides me with a damage bonus. So we're gonna go this, and then, so this feather is interesting. The feather will provide you with cooldown reduction. Now, one of the items that start the chain is either the hydraulic pump or the item that gives me more lower cooldowns. So this really depends what you think is the best. Now, going the cooldown reduction on the turn isn't the best choice because you will go to 1 second cooldown within 1 or 2 seconds of the fight. So that's a small mistake I did over here. Fast forwarding a little bit, getting more damage item, scaling my turn to 74 damage. It is very minimal. Facing a lot of variety of players, and again, our mid game isn't the best. We're still missing the crucial items, and we're still missing the crucial skills. And we don't have the best scaling. The speed is good, but he's not hitting me. This is why I say we're full off. You are really fast, but when enemies have heals or shield that's much faster than yours, it's not a good time. It was close though, but notice I don't have any scaling factor that increase my turn's damage, so it just hits for the same damage. Now, I do really want to recommend you getting a wrench. This is super powerful because we use multiple tools. You just keep this in your inventory, and after a few days, most of your tools are golden or even diamond if your wrench is diamond. So this is how I got most of my tools to diamond, just having this in my inventory. Fast forwarding a little bit, buying some red items. Facing this guy. This is actually the guy you really want to face. So let me show you guys the NPC, the Blood Reef Captain. So notice there's some really good hidden skills. So Blood Reef Captain is one, and here the little cosmic bird. This bird is also another one you want to look for. Those two are very powerful, and the Blood Reef Captain can drop the skill that can make this build to the next level to give you the further cooldown reduction. It is a bronze tier, so you should have a good chance of winning. The skill over here we want is full arsenal, because we have the cooldown reduction to vehicles, cooldown reduction to weapon, and cooldown reduction to tools, and everything combined, when you upgrade this one, goes to 10%. So that's 30% cooldown reduction. Pretty amazing, right? And of course, hopefully your build should be able to beat him this time. And I was very fortunate to get this golden skill to make the build exceptional good. So this is a massive cooldown reduction if you look at this. I was like, wow, that's really good. So some really good NPCs you're looking for. And just to follow up on that, leveling up also gave me a double damage. So my luck has started to turn just when I was about to fall off in the mid game and about to lose. Fast forwarding a little bit, my luck also keeps turning. So here, this is a great NPC you're looking for. You're looking for haste items and cooldown items. Slow items are not the biggest factor, and I found the items I've been dreaming to get. The Orthopter. This item is a one slot of small items that make both of my items fly, and then fly items on the left also have 1 second cooldown reduction. This can hyper boost my turret, or this can also hyper boost my hydraulic pump. And this also saves me the spot which I don't need the medium item over here. And this is also a vehicle, so it completes all the build for me. And this is the diamond item. So time for selling. Sold a lot of items, and I managed to get this. And I do believe this precision clipper. This is also great. So 2 reasons is that if you happen to, I keep mentioning this skill, it's just too good. I disconnected. No, okay, I'm still here. So if you get the cosmetic wind and then hasting your items, it's insanely power scaling. So this one scales with all your small items. I have a lot of small items that are tools. So the precision clipper, of course, I'll try to get it. And I think I bought it, right? Did I? Probably went back for it if I didn't buy it now. Yeah, I bought it, I think. So now we can go for skill upgrades. I think I went right. So skill upgrades over here, because we have some really good neutral skills, going for skill upgrades will enhance your build even further. And usually I prefer the weapon critical chance just to get things going. Let's have a look at those fights. So notice that my turret instantly gets the flying buff, and then things goes much smoother. And yes, I did lose. He's got a much ready build. So still, we got things ready, but we're just missing the one more cushion component to give us speed an even further boost. Now in terms of the choices on your last chance, I always like to go with enchantment, because I feel the upgrades for the bronze item, it's not the biggest factor, bronze or silver. So I want things that can provide me with, I guess, critical chance is not bad. This is not the biggest factor. Usually you're looking for damage for your main weapon, or like some kind of shield or healing, but critical chance is okay. And since I know one item that will definitely be next to my turret is going to be this item, so I decided to give it the critical buff. I didn't know it was a 15% critical buff. It's not the biggest factor, to be honest. I could have went for something else. No, looking back. So, skill upgrades? Yes. Skill upgrades, this is what you want. Full arsenal now gives from 15% cooldowns to 30% cooldown. And that's amazing. So this is how I got super low cooldowns for most of my items. And the lower the cooldowns you get, the crazier the build gets. So we're gonna sell some items and get the upgrade. And we go further. Out of gold. So when you're out of gold and when you're on your last leg, I actually went for the enhancement. Nothing too special over here. We're just gonna fight some neutral monsters, I think. Oh yes. Always keep in mind, a golden hammer can upgrade a golden item. You do not need the hammer to be diamond. So never go for a diamond hammer. Golden hammer is enough. So once I bought enough tools, I can upgrade my turret. There we go. So 270, not the worst, not the best damage. So just going for some economy with the neutral monsters, and I think, yeah, this is a great economy, 12 gold. So in terms of skill selections, again, we go with the OD unique skill to steal, because she has some really good unique skills. And when I say really good unique skills, the upgrade is great in the early game, but eject is amazing. We have at least 1 or 2 vehicles for this build, and this gives you a second chance. And the revive also avoids you from being one-shotted by some of the shuriken build, by a massive hit build. So this is really good. I really recommend it if you can get the diamond skill. Getting more items. Getting more small items. We really need some good small items. And Revergun, yes. I've been mentioning how good it is, but I didn't keep it until now. This diamond is just too good to pass. And the idea of the Revergun is, it might not seem to be very powerful, but think about this. If you put it next to your Turret, the Turret has 1 second cooldown, and every 1 second, Revergun gets charged 3 seconds. So this goes into a massive spiral loop. And it might not seem to be a lot, but once the Revergun actually goes in action, it will be charging this Coot 2 by 1 second, and this one already have a 1.9 second cooldown. This is a 3.9 second cooldown. So every 1 second, this gets charged 3 seconds, and this is follows. Because I have so much cooldown reduction on my board, it's pretty amazing. Oh, wrench is very good. I even had a wrench down. Wrench will keep upgrading items. Definitely keep that one. Of course, I'm always out of economy and gold. I actually sold a lot of my items. Even the items on my board, I had to sell them to make it work. So, now that I have the winch, and also I have, not really the winch, now I have the speed sink going. So, the left hand of the speed sink is pretty much ready. And this allows me to get into an infinite loop going. So look at this side, it just goes into a massive loop and just keep going. So within about, how many seconds? Within less than 5 or 6 seconds, I have destroyed the enemy. So my build is finally ready. Took a while, but it is fast. So now, you can see, I wanted to see it again. So I wanted to see how fast it was. So I was like, what happened? So within, I think, by the time his item, before his item even triggered, so this is a 6-second item, before his item even triggered, within 6 seconds we took him out. And I think, at this stage, I feel pretty comfortable. Skill upgrades is always nice, we have the gold, and here we have some feathers, because we're always getting free loot items, right? What did I pick? I think I'm really choosing between Curo and also the skill upgrade, because I don't have much gold, I can only pick one, right? I was like, huh. So eventually I went for the skill upgrade, and critical chance is probably the way to go. Temporary bruise, getting some weapon damage because I don't want to lose. And nothing too special. I went for the boss guy over here, because I know I don't need the medium monster, and the boss guy have a few of the skills we can get. Did we get lucky though? I think it died so fast I wanted to see it again. It was pretty amazing because I stumbled onto this build in terms of the speed loop, and it is very fast. Now, you might have noticed it can be faster if I make the pump fly. I did not make the pump fly for the longest time, and eventually I will realize about this, but not yet. So it is a testing progress. Yeah, it went so fast, I was like, let's watch this again. Flying items. What are the good flying items we can get? Oh, did I skip a little bit? Oh, I actually went for the... So, I went for the maximum health because I'm a little scared of dying right now because I don't have any more chances. Our items have increased 2 second cooldown. Definitely don't go for that. That's the worst one. The one we burn, nothing great. I think I rerolled once. So, be careful when you're buying skill and buying skill NPCs. Once you reroll, you still need the gold to actually purchase it. Notice everything costs 20. So when it's low, I get 3% critical chance. That's really good, but we don't have many good those. And the first 6 time we charge the freeze item, we don't really need that. And when you use a 2 slow item for 1 per second, that's actually not bad. Sabotage is actually quite good. I think I actually don't have the gold for any of those. So notice I even after I sold my item, it was not enough. So I actually can't buy any of those. So do be careful. Before you reroll, consider how much it's going to cost you for the skills. Now, look at the speed of this build. The amazing left-hand side is self-looping into indefinite attacks. So I'm attacking 2 times per second. With multi-cards, that's close to 4 attacks a second. And that's before my left-hand side even gets adjusted. So right now, we're just gonna shop for some items, nothing too major. I'm just adjusting the tools and everything to sync more tools with better speed. So I can skip this a little bit. And we got one more Haste item that is also a tool. So let me show you guys over here. I took away the... what you call it? I took away the winch because the winch was just a tool that enabled us for faster speed. And around this time, we're actually strong enough with the left-hand side of the infinite loop to actually go for legendaries. Let me show you guys over here. So I am strong enough to even defeat legendaries. And that's before his skills even casted. Pretty fun. So this is very cool. So this legendary with the Void Destroy, I believe, drops this Void Render skill. And this particular skill, what rank is it? Let me have a look. Oh, is it a gold rank or a diamond rank? Let's have a look. It's a gold rank. So the Void Render, so when you destroy an item, your weapon will gain 100 damage. This is actually my hidden scaling factor. Remember when we destroy a vehicle before we die, then we get the boost of damage. So this means now I have a massive scaling factor that is much needed. Of course, we go for some skill upgrade, and most of my tools are diamond. Did you know why? Because of the wrench, I believe, in my inventory that has been upgrading my tools constantly, to the point I don't have many great upgrades to go. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Headset is not bad, but it's not amazing. And yes, we got one more hammer. Time to fill up items for the hammer. So, another PvP fight. As you might have expected, we're faster than most of the speed builds out there. And even though we don't have much survivability, notice that I did die. But because I died while my item got destroyed, I had even more damage on my torrent, which is amazing. Now, I do want to go for some boost of damage, and BlizzCon is not bad for the experience, but the diamond chocolate is too much. Because I wanted to survive. Right now, the biggest priority is to survive, so some bonus life doesn't hurt. And it's also for free. So here, Property Baron, just get some bonus gold and potentially some very good item to sell. I killed him so fast, by the way. He's got some really good loot for the property though. So we killed him before his property even went to middle section. Which was ridiculous. Kitchen. It's a really good item, but not fast. Okay, so here, more skill NPCs. Of course, we go for the unique skills. So first time, we don't have large item, and when you use a weapon, reduces cooldown for 4%. Our weapon is going to be at 1%, so this is great, but not good. And we don't need the gold. So we're going to reroll. Shield, not so great. This is something you got to be careful. Bullet Crescendo only works for this build or certain build with lower cooldowns. So when you use an item, your items gain the 6% critical chance. So I do believe when you use one item, it doesn't have to be the weapon. But anyways, this will reduce your critical chance by 100. So I have about like minus 44 critical chance right now. So this is actually a, a very tricky item that can go wrong. So the video now comes to the second part. So I took a small break because I had to went out for lunch and have to, do some other things. But after coming back, I actually readjusted my board to optimize, and I did find energy drink. So here is what you saw earlier. So finding the energy drink, did I find the energy drink here? I want to show you guys where I found it, because I think that's the final piece of the build. Can we have a look? Okay. Oh, I believe the energy drink came for free, or did I buy it? It came for free, right? Did it? I think it came for free because I had one of the free loot items. Oh, the free 2 items? Oh no. Okay, my bad. So energy drink came from a small NPC. It is also a food item, but I don't think we find food NPCs. So this small item is a pretty big game changer. The Nicola will charge items next to it for 4 seconds. And even though it still suggests an item for 1 second, we have so much haste, I don't really mind. So definitely recommended, especially when you have been saving your loot item that provides you with more charges. Let me show you guys over here. So just reading my speed sinks and getting the speed sync. So here is the loot item, the gunpowder. Remember, I've been getting a lot of loot items, and this one gives us 2 charges. 2 charge is not enough, but 4 charges is enough. So after that, I went out, then I came back. I've been thinking about how to optimize, and you'd see the pretty much optimized board on this stage now. Not fully, but pretty optimized. So going from left to right, you can see the left hand side is what we started with Infinite Loop. The Cool Tools having 1.3 second cooldown because of all the skills, followed by the Hydraulic Pump is now flying. So Hydraulic Pump will loop itself, and the Nicola will increase the speed of Hydraulic Pump and also the Jetpack over here. The Jetpack is not the biggest deal. I plan to change Jetpack, and then this Precision Clipper have a 3 second 0.2 cooldown and hits every small item for 2 seconds. So my thing is pretty settled. I'm just getting more tools, getting things going, and destroying people. Well, when I say destroying people, it's actually quite close. Simply because notice my turret is not scaling. It is doing about 200, like 500 damage per pop, but it's not scaling as hard as I hoped. Now, once my item breaks, all of a sudden it's 400 damage. Look at that. And that's when it started to crit for like 1000. So now it feels much better. I think I watched a few times, and I think the rest of the fight is pretty self-explanatory. I do recommend looking for a particular NPC called the Lord of the Waste to fight, because this can potentially give you the skill with double your critical damage. Now, of course I didn't get lucky with that, but I'll be too lucky, right? Energy Potion is okay, but not great. So here I just need more weapon damage, and what else do we got? So, I like to dig a lot, because once you're digging, you can find some really good item from any NPC, or any player. Control your course. I don't think we'll find anything great. Oh, it's not bad. Precision Clip is nice. I did make the mistake upgrading this one to crit, and giving a small item crit is not great. So remember, just if you're really not sure what happens to the enchantment on the items, if you YOLO it, it might not be the best way. So make sure you buff your main weapon, which you did not. Final boss fight. So this is what you saw at the end of the fight. And this wasn't an easy fight. That Shuriken one-shotted me. So this is a day 14 fight, so fights are much more intense and players hit a lot harder. But thankfully, once he kills me, my Shuriken started to even my Turret started to do even more damage. Now, I want to provide you guys with this full replay, but I also wanted to give you guys a demo of what I mean by scaling. So even though this is not a successful run, I'll also attach the video just so you can see. Notice the setup is very similar. I did try something different. So this is the setup I was going for, and you can see I have obsidian, the obsidian current as well. So let me go back a little bit so you can see the actual fights. Where are we? So, notice it's almost similar. This is the other scaling variant, and the scaling variant actually comes from here. So notice this is what you see over here. I was able to find multiples of the precision clippers just coming from the toolbox and upgrading those automatically with a wrench to diamond tier. I had those in my inventory. And in terms of the obsidian turret, it is buffed with double damage. It will have poison, and we have a lot of haste. So having the cosmic wind just makes things so much better. Let me show you guys what I mean over here. So here we're gonna fight. I think I fought the easy boss too. Could have went for the harder boss. So look at the damage of the turret. This is how it scales. It is a little slow. The reason I lost with this build is I couldn't get the sync going. I couldn't get the fudge speedy. So look at the damage. He's already dead. So we went from 300 to 600 damage within a few seconds. And let me try to show you guys again. Let's have a look at the damage of the build. So 340. Within about 2-3 seconds, look at how fast the damage ramps. It is incredibly powerful how fast it speeds up. I just needed an initial speed. And the reason I lost with this is because I couldn't find the faster initial speed like the first setup. So the first time when I won, I had so much more speed. I didn't have scaling. The second time I have too much scaling, but not enough speed. Now, let me see if I can find the bird that made this possible. I want to show you guys the bird. Okay, I found the bird. This is why I found the bird, I think. So, just to have a look at the fight. Before I found the bird, this is what it looks like. 180 damage, just pure damage. Where's the birdie? Here we go. So this is the NPC you want to fight, the Cosmic Rogue. This NPC gives you the skill you wanted. It's a silver tier skill, but it's amazingly powerful. So let me show you guys the skill. He also gives you some really good speed items. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is this one. The 10 damage doesn't seem a lot, but once you haste so many times and you start to see the damage rising. So here I'll show you guys against a legendary boss. So I was so strong I can defeat pretty much everything. Except I don't have a speed sink. My only downfall is I couldn't get faster speed. So look at the damage ramps. The haste is just crazy on the side. Now I'm like 600, 700. So within less than 7 seconds, I went from 300 to 700 damage. And this is double damaged. And it's incredible. So very recommended to understand the speed sync for this one. Or the highlight of the speed boost. And then I do believe there's another way of scaling. Yes, if you can get the poison enchantment, especially on items with a lower cooldown, this is a terrible 4-second cooldown item. This is the reason I lost. If this was on 2-second cooldown, I think I had a better chance. So if you can get this, your items will also have critical chance. So this is how this was getting much higher critical chance. So I have both of the replays available for you guys to have a look now, and hopefully this gives you the best insight of how to win or how to have a good time with the arrow turret, which seems to be a very powerful early game build, but much weaker late game until you find the right items.
They said I'd never make it on my own. Wonder what they're saying now.
It takes real confidence to let a kid train you. I'm impressed.
I'd rather build stuff than break it, but inventions need testing.
In 100 years when you are dust, I will remain. Every failed experiment lights the path to success.
I would spar with you, but this leg. Oof. Nouveau teaches stillness. I prefer action. Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me. People need the tools to defend themselves from things like this. much we have to learn.
So you're not made of sugar? How does that even work? If candy tastes best, why eat other things?
What specs are you running? Oh, good luck.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes this more fun. You've got talent. You should put it toward nobler use.
Cast aside your deathstruments! Your aura guided me to what you needed. I can feel our energies resonating.
Curio sells junk. We refurbish junk. Our items have lived. They have stories.
I've studied for this. I can win. But I followed all the instructions.
Yes! Flying high.
You may be too sad. They don't make these like they used to.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get you?
community service stuff doesn't exactly pay.
Oh, delivery's free. I like the exercise.
This is like a sport, right? You're not really mad at me. Let's stress test our gear, yeah? Can't always blame it on the gear.
Discounts for peace. Use that for the good of all.
Hard to help the poor when I am the poor.
You are enough, friend. But I'm glad you bought this.
You want to take a swing at me? You couldn't swing a putter. All those newfangled items! Yeah, I would have whooped you without those.
No sale. I want what's right for you.
Watch out, Tantius Industries. Stelle's workshop's on the rise.
There are a lot of steps in this staircase, but it's beautiful up there.
Midsworth says I have to trade even when I don't care.
Hope you bought your parachute. What specs are you running? Oh, good luck. We can still be friends, right?
Oh, come on then. Let's get this over with. Medium is the size of dignity. And that's how a master merchant makes a sale.
Oh, hello. I mean, welcome to my business. I'll show you those stumps back home. I'm gonna be a business tree.
Can we make this quick? I hate flying. Oh, at least I'm on the ground.
Take your time. I'm pretty laid back. I used to offer a free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
So many species can't fly. Why would nature do that to them? Oh man, that one's so good! To help me test my designs. Want to get lunch after this? Is that weird? Toughen up, Stelle. This is the real world.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who does. Hey, that's okay. It's been nice talking to you.
Small things remind me of seeds, acorns, home. Oh, look. It's so tiny. On behalf of the Grand Society of Mister... Anyway, thanks!
Do not let it. You will never escape. At last, we are free.
Few warriors live to retire. Buy my weapons, and you might. Enjoy the thrill of battle. Well, you can. Nufo teaches stillness. I prefer action. And when you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you. Now, if I can just learn how to talk to people.
When you're ready, I'll send you to Orland, but I'll keep you as long as I can.
Hey, you're a natural at this.
After I break all your stuff, I'd be happy to repair it. When we're done here, stop by my shop for a tune-up. Hey, that was fun, right? Right?
Any good fights lately? Oh, I do miss it. Use it well. Make me proud.
So much chaos on the streets. Ah, if my family saw this, they'd be furious.
Ryokon promised Orlin to never eat students. But if you are not a student... Since you do not train with me, I will not feel shame if you die.
The Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
Time to stop buying and start selling.
I get it. You're busy. Enjoy your purchase. Now, if that doesn't work out for you, come back for a refund.
Now go out there and be a star!
Is this a social situation? I'm not great at those.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody. Defeat does not defeat me.
I pay well for mid-sized things. Reasonable sized things. I suppose I can sell that. Happy to exploit you. I mean help you. Hope that Quixel was watching. Why, yes, I have the truth you seek. Now, which truth were you seeking?
Okay, go away, please. Every test improves the design. I'm a fighter pilot, not a freighter pilot. Drop some junk.
Lounging in this resort isn't how I... Silver, gold, diamond, it all comes down to confidence.
You see landfill, I see buried treasure. That's been sitting there 20 years, waiting for you.
We've got to drop some weight if we're gonna get airborne.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything. Hooey! Now that's a bargain. Well, you're doing your part to clean up the bazaar. Warms my rusty circuits to see that find a home.
Got a few new designs I want to try. Let me know what you think.
I will fight you, but only so that I can study you. Take no apprentice. None have proven worthy.
Some engineers fix things. I make the things they fix things with. It's always that tool you thought you'd never need that ends up saving your butt.
top scum to me. I failed the coral.
Upgrade everything, even me.
Enter purchase link. Enter purchase link!
Fine, I'll build one myself. Well, Dad would love to see this.
One less slow-mo in the world.
Maybe I should make more mini blimps. Those always sold well.
Go, do, hurry!
I'll help you master your skills if you're willing to do the work. Like, all the work.
Hi, I'm Stelle Ingenious. Wanna fight? Just a little friendly sparring, right? Ugh. My encabulator is prefabulated amulite. You never had a chance.
This is not the end for you. I have seen it. The potential is vast. Let me show you.
I'll figure something out.
I was teaching enlightenment long before those Sphinxians arrived. Original and best.
need the tools to defend themselves. Every day on these streets teaches me so much.
Oh, not today. That's fine. With your help, the slums are going to rise faster than Tantius Falls!
You've just taken the first step toward good taste. Buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
I'm not asking Dad for money.
Remember, diamonds come in small boxes.
I'll fly rings around you. From that one into a few gaps in this one. Boom!
Yes, there are rumors that I'm a fraud. But do frauds have flying carpets?
I don't like guns. Blades makes it last longer.
Yeah, been working out.
Now this is health food. Literally. Feel that? Yeah, that's the ultra protein.
Experience is treasure. I will share mine with you. Few possess the patience for my teachings.
This is like a sport, right? You're not really mad at me.
When we are finished, may I dissect you for study? I have no pride for you to wound.
We make tech as good as it can be, and then we make it better.
The smaller the portions, the finer the meal. You're a smart one for your size. I think that suits you beautifully.
Right. Back to business. You see that, Parker? That's how it's done.
got a lot of work to do. Ah, if my family saw this, they'd be furious.
Well, good luck then. Temper, sharpen, reinforce.
Come on in. Let's chat.
Fine, I'll build one myself.
Happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
Yataria? The Dunes? Where shall we start? That belongs in a museum, but I guess you can keep it.
Want to get lunch after this? Is that weird? A serious upgrade.
I might have something in your budget. Scrap things. No! You're quite a negotiator. We should partner up.
That's a 24% increase in fuel efficiency.
Yes, my lessons are costly, but not as costly as ignorance. I doubted a non-Sphinxian could learn that. Impressive.
I would never debase my wares by haggling. Ugh. You want to buy that? I mean, excellent choice.
fly rings around you.
In 100 years when you are dust, I will remain. If you think you've hurt my feelings, I assure you I have none.
Upgrade the gear, upgrade the world. Aleppa has no idea how much we have to learn.
The dunes are waves on a sea of gold. Your strength is beautiful.
Hope you packed a change of clothes, because you're gonna get dirty. Magnificent find.
Hope you brought your parachute.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. Defeat does not defeat me.
wish my sister could see this. To wipe that smirk off your face. My battle days are over, but hey, when you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you.
Well, howdy, hero. Hat's been sitting there 20 years, waiting for you. Warms my rusty circuits to see that find home.
You've learned all you can from me. See Argenta. She's wonderful.
Is this a social situation? I'm not great at those.
My dreams are too big for you to steal. Was invigorating.
Few warriors live to retire. Nufo teaches stillness. I prefer action.
Your gold. We want it. An outrage!
Make deals, not war. I can feel our energies resonating. I'm so glad we could share this experience today.
They said I'd never make it on my own. Wonder what they're saying now.
So many species can't fly. Why would nature do that to them? If it breaks, bring it back. I love fixing almost as much as building. My dad's the best salesman in the bazaar. I learned it from him. I'm saving to buy a speedrunner. They have so many games.
Want to get lunch after this? Is that weird? Hope you brought your parachute. We can still be friends, right?
Reward the peaceful, punish. Your aura guided me to what you needed.
I love flying and making things. My dad doesn't get why I spend all day building these, but he's the greatest.
Okay, go away, please. Every day on these streets teaches me so much.
Our items have lived. They have stories.
I'll fly rings around you. Oh, you want to help me test my designs? Multi-differential spring? Huh?
There's a special promotion today. Everything is for sale. Those carts are huge for a reason. Buy more!
The smaller the portions, the finer the meal. Remember, diamonds come in small boxes.
The Blood Reef brooks no weakness! Now I'll never captain a ship!
I love flying, but I'm scared to go far from home, so I just go straight up. Maybe we could go flying sometime, if my dad says it's okay. Do you play Piggles? I'm not very good, but it's fun.
Every test improves the design.
We made progress today. I'm proud of you.
This is like sport, right? You're not really mad at me.
least I'm on the ground.
I can sell you these bubbles, but my gossip is worth more. Quark Fable gave that to me on our first date. That looks fabulous on you.
If my family saw this, they'd be furious.
You've just taken the first step toward good taste. If you want cheap junk, go see Curio.
Got a few new designs I want to try. Let me know what you think. What specs are you running? Oh, good luck. Hey, you broke my gyroscope. Oh well, easy fix.
Of course I can help you, but only if you'll help yourself.
Do not let it. You will never escape. At last, we are free.
Come on in. Let's chat. So, how about this weather? Oh, you're leaving.
I'll build one myself.
Do you have to leave already?
The better I get, the more I can help.
Adira is our strongest. Oh, but oh, does he know it. Try Orlin. Or new food.
After I break all your stuff, I'd be happy to repair it.
You are a child to me, and I will punish you. I am seeking gold in a world of lead.
Size dilutes the brain. Mind is highly concentrated. Fire's remorse never. Be remorseless. You want to buy that? I mean, excellent choice.
Yeah, the hottest of the flavor elementals. It's spicy! No! Oh, fine! Put some mayonnaise on your food!
Take your time. I'm pretty laid back.
Hard to help the poor when I am the poor. Oh, that's the only kind of broke I can't fix.
Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
It is sad not everyone can be a worm cat, but you will try, yes? You will not die, will you? Makes Ryukan look bad.
What specs are you running? Oh, good luck. Hope you brought your parachute. Wow, you're pretty good at this.
Who I am does not matter. Only what I offer. Thebazaar is more than a city. It is their plaything.
I hope I didn't hurt it too bad. Get good so you can do good.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who does. Hey, that's okay. It's been nice talking to you.
Hi, I'm Stelle Ingenious. Wanna fight?
When we are finished, may I dissect you for study? Another step closer to the formula of life.
I have seen what you become. It's beautiful.
I've squeezed out of tighter spots.
People first, profit 10th. Maybe I should lower my prices.
We've got to drop some weight if we're gonna get airborne.
It's telling me to wreck ye.
Onward and upward.
What have you got? Wish it was something else? Maybe it is. I bet you could have sworn that was something else.
This is like a sport, right? You're not really mad at me. Quality engineering.
Come with no weapons, leave with big bargains. Use that for the good of all.
I'm the only kid in my school with my very own business. Oh man, that one's so good! bagels. I'm not very good, but it's fun.
Now, if I can just learn how to talk to people.
You see what I did for Mrs. Gorlak's grocery drone? Doubled its capacity! Your sister's been asking around about you. Watch out for that one.
People need the tools to defend themselves from things like this.
I would spar with you, but this leg. I respect Nufu, but bare hands are not enough.
It's not overpriced. You're overpoor. You don't earn my respect. You buy it.
When we're done here, stop by my shop for a tune-up.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist. Next time, boys, less blunder, more plunder.
Now that's a next-gen update.
Lord Arkin can have his empire. I only want my collection. To be honest, I'm relieved. Oh, I hate to part with it.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge. All about moderation. Just toss that on my back, and I'll trot it to your door.
Hey, Uncle Odie. Maybe I'll be training you soon. So much chaos on the streets. I wonder how much is our fault.
The Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
Maybe if they got better goods.
Yataria? The dunes? Where shall we start? That
belongs in a museum. But I guess you can keep it.
Just a little friendly sparring, right? I'd rather build stuff than break it, but inventions need testing. I never wanted to design weapons, but I might need to try. A few parts from that one into a few gaps in this one. Boom!
You might try JJ's shop. Real friendly guy.
That's a 24% increase in fuel efficiency.
The fire softens before it strengthens. Remember that.
Will you leave me alone now? I've got a lot of work to do.
Discounts for peace. I feel like you're not being...
My dad calls these toys, but to me, they're friends. Sometimes I'm happy I don't sell any. I kind of want to keep them.
Got a few new designs I want to try. Let me know what you think.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. I paint my ship red, but I don't use
I wish my sister could see this. To wipe that smirk